I will tell this story, and I don't know if it's gonna go in, but I do remember a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Saying that he hooked up with a guy for the first time, and this was
I don't
this
like where
guy's
it's going.
Yeah, this is already bad. Yeah.
This was this guy's like first time hooking up, and when he whipped out his dick, it was cheese. Just like
sprang off.
And so, but my friend still sucked his dick for like 3 seconds, and then he's like, "Okay, your turn now."
A little charcuterie action, yeah.
I'm like,
just
no,
wash it off.
A little meat and cheese together, get a little wine in there, and you're set.
I mean, like,
God.
you could just be like, "Hey, I think you need to like maybe clean up a little bit.
Wash your cock, dude." Yeah.
Go take a shower together. Who doesn't like
fun little
shower?
Pre-hookup shower, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe fuck a little bit, you maybe just wash each other, which is also nice.
Unless you literally hopped in the shower right before they came over and are hosting or something.
Well, you know what? Take another fucking shower.
Maybe you're just real into showers.
No.
You're just a real wet boy.
Look, are they a bottom? Just throw them in the shower. They'll do what you need.
Yeah, if they're a bottom, if they're a certain kind of bottom, just spray them down with a hose.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you're mixing up bottom and sub again.
No, see, I'm not. It's only gay guys who use bottom in this way.
That's true. Oh, that's right.
Y'all are the one who's left behind. You're stuck in the past.
I've hooked up with more than enough. I've hooked up with more than enough guys who are like I begin to start sucking their dick, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like that. I'm a bottom."
How do you not like getting your dick sucked? Come on.
And then like, it's younger guys, because I've talked to like my friend who's a complete and total bottom. He's like, "That's disgusting. That's a weird thing." That's like,
yeah. It's
and
getting your dick sucked. It's nice.
I'm just saying, you continuing. I mean, yeah. Like, also, like, people go down on me when I'm subbing. Like, that's a thing that feels submissive if it happens when you're doing that.
Yeah, you just kind of got to be kind of bossy about it. Like,
yeah,
give me your dick.
Yeah, spread your legs. Spread my legs open and stick your tongue in me. It's easy.
Yeah, it's like it's not like, hey, do you like that? It's like, nah, you like that. You know?
It's like, right. It's specifically, I want this.
Also,
I
hey,
think this is
dirtbags
cool.
out there, a great excuse to give really mediocre head. You can be like, oh yeah, you really love that, don't you? And it's like, if it's just garbage, if you just had some Arby's and you're thinking about the Arby's still, and you're doing the Arby's burps.
Why are you
on their genitals? On their genitals, whatever it may be. You got that excuse. You got a little fucking Arby's excuse. You got your Arby's
throwing
pass.
So much shade at Jack right now.
Thank you for listening to Psychic Dolphin Garage, the only dolphin-themed podcast sponsored by Arby's. They have the meats. Put them in your mouth. Put them down your throat. Swallow their meats. You're gonna have a grand old time.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
That was great. That's a legitimate, true cold open that only lasts like a couple of minutes instead of our usual ones.
Where we just riff for like 15 minutes, yeah. Which is fine, but like, not strictly speaking a cold open.
Yeah, we have a whole thing on this podcast where we just do an entire segment of the show before we play the theme song, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, no, it works, yeah. So yeah, who wants to do the intro?
You.
You haven't done it in a while.
Oh yeah, it has been a minute. Here,
Charlie, you go before me. Ladies first.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Bo, he, him.
I'm Charlie, she, her.
I'm Dennis, he, they.
And we've got a fucking excellent episode of television. Not television. I already fucked it up. Well,
do we?
A lot of lies happening. Yeah.
Well, no, if you cast this to your TV like a weirdo, this is an episode of television.
I mean, like, if you don't have like a Bluetooth speaker handy and you want to like do the dishes or fuck around in the kitchen or something while you got a podcast going, like that's an option.
Yeah.
What I don't get.
This has been a video podcast since day one. I assume everyone knows that.
Yeah. Y'all are getting this, right? Like I did a lot of makeup. I look great.
I look so good. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I do so many fucking like chyrons and titles.
I'm doing jumping jacks the whole time. Yeah, it's a bunch of like fucking. It's like a jazzercise thing that's also a podcast and also like way over edited.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie's really good at putting the chyron just above our genitals.
Yeah,
because obviously, if you pay for the Patreon, our genitals show up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The chirons are because you don't need to know our names. You know us because you're a member of the Patreon.
It's brilliantly edited too, because like I'm doing a lot of cartwheels. I'm sure you can pick that up on the audio. I'm doing a lot of cartwheels, and like you're still managing to find tasteful ways to censor my junk. So
yeah.
It's a Quibi model where if you get it regular, it's 16.9, but if you're on the Patreon, it's 9.16.
Yeah.
So you get the full body.
Yeah, just full hole right in your eyes.
I don't know why it's a Quibi model just fucking demolished me, but yeah. So I'm dead. I'm ash. I'm vaporized. How are y'all doing?
Well,
this
one
fine
host down.
evening?
I have a tummy ache.
Oh,
yeah,
poor
well,
thing.
Oh, your tummy hurts.
Yeah,
your tummy hurts for you being so brave about it.
Yeah.
Well, is it because you're a gringo and you ate spicy food?
No, I don't know what it's from. It just hurts.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny if you, for the sake of fucking kayfabe, it's because you're a gringo and you ate spicy food.
Okay, well, I
Gringo,
like spicy food.
I don't know Spanish,
but I guess I can't handle it because I'm white.
No,
somebody
you're a
spiced
gringo.
my mayonnaise.
Well, this is. It's interesting that you happen to have a tummy ache, not from spicy food, probably.
I'm glad that fascinates you, Dennis.
She's
you
dying,
have functioning
Dennis.
organs.
Her tummy hurts so bad.
You know how many farts I have to hold in to keep them from being on audio? It's horrible.
Yeah,
the podcast is giving me a
Congress.
tummy ache.
Well, this is a LA Times opinion piece.
That's already a huge red old flag.
Yes, the second-rate New York Times opinion piece.
Yeah, which is already not
this
great.
This is from Gustavo Ariano. Thanks, Gustavo. Actually, I have a love-hate relationship with Gustavo because
what's the chisme, bud?
he used to work at OC Weekly before it was bought by libertarians, and it became like this it just became ads.
Gross.
But before that, like OC Weekly would actually, it's a free publication, and it would have like really interesting stories about like subcultures and different like underground festivals and stuff that were happening around OC. It was actually really cool. Gustavo
Orange County, for those who are uncultured and don't know this, yeah.
And Gustavo would write about things from a like his like very like Mexican American perspective, and about like different like Chicano art things happening around here. He also
I love
had
some Chicano art things, yeah.
He also had an expose on the origins of Orange County and how it has ties to KKK members.
Wow.
Like, Orange County exists because LA County was too Mexican. And so keep that in mind whenever I say I don't feel always very safe being Mexican here in Orange County. But he also has this like very weird like machismo about him that I don't like.
Okay.
And he's been misogynistic before and kind of homophobic in the past.
Yeah.
Not
great, buddy.
Very colorful character. But yeah, this is from LA Times and Gustavo Ariano. Thanks, Gustavo.
Thanks, Gustavo.
So 1 year ago this week, Chula Vista Mayor Maria Casillas Salas sat at a fancy Mexican restaurant in the city's downtown and prepared to eat some octopus tacos dressed with habanero salsa. Soon after, council member...
I assume?
Yeah. Soon
I
after,
don't
John...
eat octopus, but, you know.
Oh, it slaps.
I don't either. Soon after, council member John McCann approached her table. They chatted for a bit, then McCann admitted that he thought the restaurant's food was too spicy.
Already a red flag, yeah.
Yeah, red flag. Also, you don't need to say that.
Yeah, you can just, like, be a wuss and, like, you know, like, leave.
Yeah. Well, they also
order yourself a tall glass of milk on the way out, all right?
Like, they also order, like, I'm sure that they have more than just habanero salsa. You can get it with, like, a mild salsa. You can get it with the pico de gallo.
Hey, can you put some pico on the tacos with the octopus instead
Give
of
me the
spicy
Gringo
thing?
salsa.
Yeah, you just say that.
No, there straight up is across the street at the Mexican market that I frequent. There is a salsa called Güero salsa.
That's great.
And
which for the uninitiated is just Gringo again.
Yeah, Güero means specifically like white boy or white girl.
Whitey, yeah.
Que onda, Güero? But so I said, "Oh, John, you're such a gringo," the two-term mayor and former state assemblywoman told me in a phone interview, and he started laughing after that. Salas thought nothing of saying gringo, a Spanish word long used by the American West to refer to white people and across Latin America to denote foreigners. It's technically a slur, but it's part of life in these parts, and its power to offend nowadays is minimal.
Also,
Yeah.
two things real quick. I don't actually know the history, so tell me if I'm wrong. My impulse is that its power to offend has never been much worse than it would be now, because it's just weirdos.
Okay, so the terminology gringo, it's not, no one knows what its origin is. That's thought maybe to come from griego, which is Greek. Like, this is a weird thing. I did have to learn this when getting my ethnic studies degree.
Also,
like,
that's really funny.
We did go over this, but
Yeah.
It was just a thing like after Texas became a part of the United States because of, the United States forcing itself into
Imperial
Mexico.
invasion?
It all comes back to the eternal Texan. Yeah.
Yeah, so my theory then would be, if it is a result of, like, an imperial invasion of a people, and then those people start saying the word gringo, I don't think that's a slur. That sounds like cracker being a slur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little bit.
so the three terms that are used kind of interchangeably are gringo, güero, and my grandpa's favorite, and my favorite too, is Anglo.
Anglo's great. Because Anglo gets down to the core of what it really is, and that is like, obviously, like, white supremacy is effusive in all imperial societies. But who does it get back down to? That's right, those filthy fucking fog-breathing, bean-eating Brits, all right? And not like the good kind of bean-eating like we like,
Not
Like
my
fucking,
bean-eating.
For instance, to bring it back, to this. Which in itself is almost me saying a slur, but it's complimentary.
No, I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's how that works.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I said
and
it,
I'm realizing
but it's
it
a
now
compliment.
as I'm saying it, and I'm turning beet fucking red. But
Bo just called me a frijolero.
yeah, but at least like the English word's worse. We've had this conversation.
We have.
Yeah.
So, continuing.
Wait, can I note one more thing before you
Oh, yeah.
continue?
Please.
The phrase "it's technically a slur" in this article is a hyperlink, which goes to another LA Times, I believe, just a letter to the editor that just says, "Why does the LA Times cooperate with Jorge Vergara's insulting use of gringo, conquistador in cleats," by David Davis, March 13th. That word is a racial ethnic slur, at least when it's used with insulting intent, which is usually the reason for using it. Signed, Charles K. Sergis.
We have another word, and it's gusano, and like, fuck you. None of these are offensive.
Also, it's technically a slur, does not link to any sort of evidence of that. It links to a letter to the editor in which someone named Charles is like, that's offensive to me.
Some cracker named
let's be
Charles.
real. If you're offended, if you're offended by cracker, if you're offended by gringo, like, come on. Come on.
Yeah. So, off to a bad hyperlink start.
Yeah.
Go on.
A McCann followed. I felt shocked by her statement, since it was aimed at diminishing me because of my ethnicity and race. The council member asked Chula Vista to get someone impartial to investigate the incident. 2 months later, an outsider lawyer came back with a conclusion. Though Salas's use of gringo was inappropriate, it didn't constitute discrimination. Quote, "Here, the use of the word gringo on one occasion in this informal setting and to describe a person's attribute of not being able to eat spicy food does not rise to the level of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment."
Correct.
And this cost the Chula Vista taxpayers $16,000 for this investigation.
So, real quick footnote. It took 2 months and fucking, what was that number again?
$16,000.
$16,000.
$16,000 and 2 months of research to determine. Oh yeah, no, gringo, come on, like, man, don't be a fucking, like, don't be weird about this. Don't be fucking Tim Pool
We
about this,
concluded our
man.
investigation already after having not even finished the article. We just heard the interaction and decided, no. Like, we decided before we heard the interaction, in fact. We've been right this whole time.
Yeah, no, literally, Yeah, at like my fucking job in college, like my nicknames were fucking Borrego, which means lamb, and Güero, which we've touched on already. Like
which means white boy.
which means white boy, yeah. And yes, I did bust it down sexual style while coated with the sauce or whatever the fucking phrase is, you know. And that's why I wore with a fucking badge of pride, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, there's a fucking truck I see all the time here in Austin that's literally called like it's Güero's Tacos. So fucking
there is a they mentioned Güero's Tacos. I think there's also a lot of places called Güero's Tacos.
Maybe it's fucking Güero's son. You know, I don't fucking remember what it is, but
it's awesome.
I mean,
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in California and in like just in the Southwest called Güero or Gringo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we also call each other as Mexicans, we call each other Güero.
Yeah, if you're like
if someone's
particularly
lighter
light complected
or like me, I get called Güero a lot because I don't speak Spanish.
You fucking honky.
Which is a little bit different, but regardless.
Yeah.
I can say honky, by the way. That's my word.
Yeah,
you
they
can.
also they link to another LA Times article. Of note, every hyperlink in this is just to another LA Times article. I guess they have internal sourcing system.
That's
though
that's
real.
But they mentioned this is still an opinion article. It's not really news.
Okay, but if you're going to make claims you can source, like you're just linking to other LA Times articles that don't really prove the thing you're saying. It's just like
Charlie,
don't link anything.
I think you're misunderstanding the purpose of journalism. Sources are not a thing anymore. They're just it's all BuzzFeed. All right.
Okay. Well, I just want to point out one of the links goes to a member of the Offspring from California creating
Dexter Holland.
Yeah, Dexter Holland creating a hot sauce called Gringo Bandito.
That's great.
Which I've had. It's good.
How much do you think he paid for that feature?
they say it's indelicately named. I don't know if he would be okay with that.
Indelicately. Yeah. I mean, I'm offended.
I mean, okay,
it's
but
too spicy
like,
for me.
Are you saying all white people are criminals?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
The official stance of the podcast, by the way.
That is true. If you're born white, you are a criminal. That is
but like if you're working
true.
class, you're the cool kind of criminal.
Yeah. No, you can make up for it by just being cool and doing good things.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. Like cool crimes.
Yeah.
So, in January, the California Department of Education agreed to remove a Chicano poem from its ethnic studies curriculum in response to a lawsuit filed by a group of parents represented by attorneys associated with the Chicago-based Thomas More Society. Why Chicago has any jurisdiction over what's happening in California is beyond me.
Yeah.
The conservative nonprofit.
Who is Thomas More?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Hey, I can give you one guess that he's real white.
I mean, yeah, with that Anglo-Saxon of a name.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the conservative nonprofit. What was that?
Oh, I was going to say, the conservative nonprofit, according to Wikipedia, filed cases as part of Trump's failed attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
Oh, good for them.
Great. Looks like we're off to like a great start.
They're a Catholic law firm associated with the Christian right.
The Eternal Papist.
Oh yeah. So the conservative nonprofit.
Sorry.
The conservative nonprofit usually argues for more religious liberty, not less. But when it came to the lawsuit, disingenuously called an Aztec prayer. The scripture in question was actually a poem which discussed pseudo-Maya philosophical beliefs and mentioned 4 Aztec gods as a way to inspire Chicano students to learn about their Mesoamerican roots.
Oh, that's badass.
It's an earnest, monotonous bore, honestly. But the Thomas More lawyers convinced California's Department of Education that the poem was a violation of the separation of church and state. And besides, according to them, any form of prayer and glorification of these beings in whose name horrible atrocities were performed is repulsive. Oh, you meant like how all the times that we've killed people in the name of Jesus? Like what?
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Come on. You're a Catholic organization. You can't like pull that.
Well, like okay,
also
like
Dennis, I don't want to shit on your like Catholic, I assume it's pronounced bona fides, is
bona fides, I believe is the Latin.
Yeah.
But it says Saint Thomas More is a Catholic saint.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you tell me that when I asked you?
Well, because this is
why
just
didn't
the
you tell us?
Because this is just the Thomas More Society. Also, there's like a million saints. I can't know them all.
Okay, so you're saying you didn't know who it was?
No, I just said this is the Thomas More Society.
And I asked you who's Thomas More.
And I said, I don't know.
Exactly.
There we go. It's almost as if we recorded this conversation, be played back later. So y'all both seem like fucking assholes.
But
opposed to the Protestant Reformation.
I mean, okay. I am.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
Yeah, I mean, same. Not a big fan of the prods.
Oh, yeah, if you're in England in the 1500s, there's really no wrong person to be opposed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be another 500 years before they invent, like, epic Reddit atheist guys, so just go off. Like, be as fucking, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson as you want to be. You know?
Right. I just, like, this whole line that the Thomas More Society has said, any form of prayer and glorification of these beings in whose name horrible atrocities were performed is repulsive. Okay, so, like, these quote-unquote horrible atrocities, I mean, these did happen. Like, sacrifices of humans were made to these gods. But
who cares?
It was also, like, it was about 500 years ago. And also, like, it was done...
like, as wars of conquest, also.
Not even... Not even...
It was just a cultural thing, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so the Aztecs, to the victor goes history. The Aztecs said that the people who were sacrificed wanted to be sacrificed.
It was like a sex thing.
No, well, as a as to, like, the people who, like, had their children, like, starved in caves, like, they wanted to because their tears were healing and they represented rain. Like, the thing is, like, we won't know for sure, but
thank you, Spain, for that, by the way.
Yeah, but also, like, the Crusades, what the fuck was that? Like, there was a children's crusade where hundreds of kids died because they wanted to take back the Holy Land.
I believe the blood represents the blood rain of the end times.
Yeah, they're healing blood that would rain a new, presence of Christians upon Jerusalem, I guess. Oh shit,
right.
It's a
new Jesus. It's like
you gotta bleed new Jesus sometimes.
No, what's that game where you kill things and fill the blood meter? Is that Legacy of Kain?
That sounds right. I feel like that's like every hack and slash from like 2008, but sure.
Whatever it was, maybe it was probably God of War.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You kill and the blood meter fills. I don't know. All I know is that's how you get Jesus to return. You got to fill the blood meter.
You got to fill the blood meter. Then Christ shows up.
Yeah. I mean, wait, though, that's definitely some that fucking sounds like the blood quota that the Shining Path had.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no. Anyway, before
folks, we did a Shining Path.
Before we get the ultras that mad at us, I'm just gonna close this story out with a quote from because I just read his fucking name. Where was it? Oh, he's a San Diego State English professor, William Noricchio. Noricchio says, if the council member McCann was really offended, he would have boo-hooed at the restaurant and Solace would have apologized, and it would have been over. But what happened during the Donald Trump administration was that Anglo-Americans of a certain political persuasion or stripe were given license to resist what they perceived to be affronts with a kind of impassioned righteousness.
Oh, they always had that. Don't put that on Trump.
I
mean, yes, they always did have it, but I mean,
he made it worse. You're right.
He did make it worse. Anyway, thanks,
also,
Gustavo.
I'm going to give you all the shitty lib read on this situation.
No, actually,
due to dynamics of power, he felt like he was, intimidated by this mayor on her home turf. Let's be real. All right, this is getting bad. Real quick.
A habanero salsa is home turf. I see. You know what? I rescind my previous statement. No, I'm going to say that the entire history of America is a bunch of Anglo-Americans of a certain political persuasion or stripe resisting what they perceive to be affronts of a kind of impassioned righteousness.
Honestly, right. that sentence kind of goes. So, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, do you hear that, folks?
Oh, what's this? What's that? What?
It's the call of the hogs. The HOGWATCH. It's the HOGWATCH is here, folks.
Yay! Gonna clip that for the intro we make.
Please do.
It's time for HOGWATCH.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Canadian hogs. Our American, we've exported American hogness to the Canadians. Actually, it was always there.
Well, I mean, right now they're blocking all of the import of our hoggishness.
That's true.
Yeah,
but
Americans are no longer deranged. It's all stopped up at the northern border.
Well, if you haven't been paying attention, there is this quote unquote trucker convoy happening throughout Canada, where
Just in case no one in your family is either conservative or liberal or whatever they mean when they say centrist, and you haven't somehow heard about it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the idea was that this was some sort of like workers' rights thing for the truckers because they wanted to not get vaccinated because there's vaccination mandates. However, 90% of truckers are already vaccinated.
Yeah, let's just shut this down already. They represent less than 10% of truckers, and yeah, about the racial makeup of trucking is not represented in this.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of gringos.
Not only that, but the two largest trucking unions in Canada, the Teamsters, and I think it really was the CRT or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Whoa, but, CRT?
CTR?
CTR, I think it was, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, how deep does this go?
But they both are like, no, we are not organizing this and we do not support it. The truckers unions. Like, come on, folks. Anyway, police have now raided these convoys, which are basically just taking up cities, like in downtown, like Ottawa and places like that. And if you watch some videos of the police, quote unquote, raiding, they seem to have a lot of restraint that they don't seem to have when they are trying to, arrest First Nations land protectors on their sacred land. But,
right,
whatever.
For example, in this picture in a Guardian article about this, they just have a police line that has been set up with little barricades and a bunch of police tape stringing through it, which all of the truckers have used to post all of their signs and slogans, almost as though it was just a little display for them.
A fun little thing they're doing,
But the thing is, I've seen some videos of like these people like going up to the cops, and they're like, Canadians really are like, they really are just polite, which is weird.
Yeah.
The Canadians are like, oh, sir, you need to understand, we're fighting for our rights. You need to see us from our side. You need to understand. Your mom would be so disappointed in you. Be on our side. I'm like, I can't take anyone who has that much of a Canadian accent. I can't take seriously. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's a clown. It's a clown voice. It's a clown's voice that clowns speak in. Yeah.
Like,
what were you saying earlier about clowns being sexy?
Well, that's another topic for another time. All right, let's not dwell on what may or may not have been said about someone honking on my horn till I
just want to figure out where your line is, Bo.
She be honking on my horn till I awooga. I don't know. Are you happy now that you made me rehash like an already tired Twitter format?
Well, the thing is, what has also been showing up at these trucker convoys have been QAnon flags, Gadsden flags,
and also like Nazis.
Yeah, and straight up Nazi flags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's very interesting how this is supposed to be like, for the workers and it, like regarding workers' rights and stuff. And somehow you have people like straight up being like, this is about the growing Islamization of Canada. Which
we're all very worried about, by the way.
Right.
Oh, I mean, this is the first I've heard of it. I assume that's because there's some sort of vast conspiracy preventing me from knowing how.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Exactly.
Big Muslim who secretly controls Tim Hortons.
Yeah, not big Islam. Big.
No,
Muslim.
it's just one guy who's like real tall.
It's just one. Yeah, he's like a 9-foot guy. He's a big
like
guy.
Real tall. He's real religious. Like
3 imams in a trench coat.
I mean, there was
Am
also
I canceled
like
for that? I don't know what the line is.
No, you're fine. I think you're fine.
As long as you don't pull 3 imams in a trench coat, walk into a bar, I think you're good. Because then you just get canceled for being a fucking hack.
No, they'd be far too tall for that door.
Yeah. Also, they walk up to the bar and they order a soda because alcohol is alcohol is haram. No, there was also a video that I saw where because a lot of these people are trying to prove that they are not white supremacists. And so there's a woman on this
it's
on
real
one of these
bad when you have to work to prove that.
Yeah, not a relatable problem. Sorry, folks.
There was a woman who stood on one of these makeshift stages and was like, "Is anyone here a white supremacist?" And there was literally several men who went, "Hell yeah!"
Oh no! Oh no!
Really, they were trying to be like
unified comms.
Yeah, no, they were really trying to be like, see, this isn't a white supremacist rally. We're all just trying to be here for the truckers. But no, like straight up, the guys are like, I'm a white supremacist.
Y'all want to hear my most hits blunt ass take?
Okay.
Go for
Are you
it.
gonna hit a blunt?
No, I don't have I'm out of weed right now, and it sucks. But I do have some Manischewitz left over that I'm drinking.
Yum.
Because, I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway,
You gotta put something in you.
yeah, exactly, right. Gotta put something in me.
Manischewitz.
There we go.
Manschwitz.
Manschwitz,
As I called it as a child.
That means man. I think that means man sweat. Like the English,
There we
the
go.
English word man, and the
Anyway.
Yiddish word for sweat.
Anyway, yeah, every protest on Canadian soil is a white supremacist protest, or at least done by Canadians.
Well, I would
That's my take.
like by Anglo Canadians, because there are like First Nations
Yes.
people.
Again, we come back to it, the eternal Anglo
Yep.
playing the
And
game.
Episode title, gonna get us in the wrong feeds.
Well, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention through all of this hubbub, that like obviously a bunch of right wingers are pro trucker convoy,
Yeah.
but yeah, I said, I would be remiss if I didn't say that your usual characters who are on the very wrong side of understanding like what being the proletariat is are also supporting
Of
them.
course. Yeah.
Like infamously, like folks like Infrared Haas and Jackson Hinkle and the Party for Communists and Patriotism.
Yeah, for those of
That's-
you who aren't super online, a bunch of assholes who think that like, oh yeah, it's like communism but America. That's great. Like it's great that we're doing like America fuck yeah bit from like 2010. That's real fucking epic bacon, huh?
Yeah,
Idiots.
classic enemies of the show, patriots.
Yeah, yeah.
So their whole line of thinking is that like the working class in America tends to be patriotic. So if you are not patriotic, you are therefore not working class. Now I will admit that the American working class does tend to be patriotic, but that is not because like being patriotic is a working class thing. That's because the working class has mostly been fed a bunch of propaganda.
Yeah, because
for
we've
like,
been heavily
50 years.
propagandized. Yeah.
Doing biological essentialism for class consciousness, like, oh no, it's not that we have to like show people what's going on and bring understanding of class war to all people. It's that no, workers in America specifically are inborn with the trait of America loving.
Mm-hmm. Just like
Yep.
how
Cool, that's sciencey.
Just like how the first millionaire off of Jeopardy, they were doing the biological essentialism because she's trans. So
What?
a lot of people are like, well, because she's the first woman to make over $1 million on Jeopardy. But people are like, yeah, well, she's a trans woman. But these are like TERFs saying this. And it's like, are you saying that man brain bigger, so therefore smarter?
Yeah,
like
they are.
What?
Women be shopping, to be fair. Women be shopping, to be fair.
Yeah,
and
I
so
mean,
is
hey,
she.
that
And so is
is-
she on Jeopardy, because she's winning all that fucking money. Eat shit, TERFs.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the TERF argument that like men are stronger, bigger brained, more capable, more flexible,
Cooler,
more, just like more
sexier,
adaptable,
better at being
sexier,
women.
Better,
Let's be
yeah, it's
real.
just better at everything, and also a violent menace. And it's in order for women to be okay, they have to be separated from anyone who has those hormones and genetic traits, because it's just actually unfair to women who are smaller and weaker and stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that is just their legitimate argument. Like it's not,
Yeah.
there's not much to it.
Well, fuck TERFs, fuck these proletariat patriots, and fuck this trucker
And fuck
convoy.
these goofy ass trucker. Again, like, come on, y'all. It's fucking
Like,
vaccine mandate. At this point in this loop, like in this fucking run of discourse, because I mean it's been the case ever since vaccines rolled. I mean it's been the case since before vaccines rolled out that people were like, oh, I'm not gonna put whatever in my body. Like you've had plenty of time for it to prove that like it's whatever.
Mhm.
Like there's big companies fucking like actually making the things, but like come on.
yeah, no, the science is completely real. It's the companies
Yeah.
that are awful, but the science behind it is real.
Look, Marx didn't say that, like, capitalism was one of the most productive forces ever invented by people because, like, it's actually secretly going to weaken, undermine, and kill every single person through all of its products. It's that when you privilege profits and allow exploitation and seeking wages, you get a significant amount of production because people have to grind in order to eat. And if they don't, they die or get shot by the police. And so, like, yeah, that's incredibly productive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the products are all utter garbage. It just means that when you privilege profits over anything else, sometimes the products are garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're just answering problems that don't otherwise need to be answered absent this system.
Mm-hmm. It's
very straightforward.
It's very straightforward. This is not a workers' revolt as much as Infrared Haas wants to say. This is
any sort of protest where people can, like, because, like, yeah, obviously, like, you know, strikes and shit can go on for a while, but that's, like, you know, there are funds and shit set up, like, collectively to, like, help people along and,
with
you
the
know,
unions.
take care of them.
Yeah,
Unions, for instance. Whereas this, like, you know, if you can fucking take 5 weeks off work to fuck around in Ottawa, come on, there's nothing in Ottawa.
Not just fuck around, like, bring all of your vacation luggage and some of your furniture from home and just lay it out in the center of the street.
All your goofy little fucking toys. Fuck you.
Yeah. Also, some of the people on the internet and shit responding to the news that, because, like, the news is I think the mainstream news, as far as I've seen, is simultaneously trying to show that, like, oh, this is a right-wing protest, but also they have some legitimate grievances we should consider. It's like, like, they're trying to, like, thread that needle, like, oh, you don't have to like the white supremacists, but you know,
like, any protest is valid. Yeah.
They're just responding to, they're doing a fake materialism where, like, a CNN reporter is saying, we have to consider how they're just responding to the real material conditions of the world, which prompts them to ask the same questions we on CNN have to ask, which is, what of individual liberty in a time of distress? How should we deal with this problem? To which the obvious answer would be, you force everyone to get a vaccine, fuck you. And if you're really out there going, I don't know, that seems like a slippery slope, just think of all of the other things the state forces you to do every single goddamn day of your life.
Drive sober.
No, not even the good things.
Stay off your phone in school zone. These are good things? What?
Yeah, it's a good thing to stay off your phone in a school zone. I'm sorry to inform you of this.
All right. Someone's driving real slow, looking and checking out all the kids. I'm a God-fearing American who's not a weirdo, which is why I speed right through there at 70 miles an hour, so I don't get any fucking weird ideas about any fucking kids.
This is literally the libertarian mindset.
I'm gonna run for city council in, like, Tallahassee and sweep the fucking boat. All right.
I think you mean run over city council and sweep the fucking boat,
which is also a thing right-wingers love. Let's be real.
No. Oh my god, that would definitely get you fucking votes. God, it's a death cult. A literal death cult.
Who says electoralism is dead, all right?
Electoralism isn't dead. You just gotta get in a steamroller and just click it on to, like, 3 miles an hour and just do a media press conference from the top of it as it steamrolls toward the other press conference.
Oh, no, it's a press conference, all right.
Yeah. Well,
we're so good at this.
Electoralism might not be dead, but 15 out of 23 monkeys that were experimented on by Elon Musk are dead.
What a pivot! Oh, Jesus. Like, honestly, like, reading this initially, like, I teared up. Because, yeah, those are, like, little animals. Fuck. And it's heartbreaking. But you said that in such a funny way.
This comes from Consequence, written by Ren Graves. Thanks, Ren. So yes, out of a total of 23 monkeys implanted with Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chips at the University of California, Davis between 2017 and 2020, at least 15 had reportedly died. I have another thing to say about UC Davis, but I will after we talk about this. They've done a lot of really questionable things to animals.
There. This time I'm sure I've fixed the mind switcher.
Good. I'm sick of cleaning up those heaps of dead monkeys. But why would you want your mind in a new body?
Well, as a man enters his 18th decade, he thinks back on the mistakes he's made in life.
Like the heaps of dead monkeys?
Science cannot move forward without heaps.
So via Business Insider and the New York Post, the news comes from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, an animal rights group that viewed over 700 pages of documents, veterinary records, and necropsy reports through a public records request at the university. Neuralink was founded in 2016 with the goal of helping people recover from traumatic brain and spinal cord injuries, curing depression and other mental health disorders, and connecting humans to the internet for everything from music streaming to near telepathic communication. The company is often touted as...
Yeah. Let's hold on to that for just a moment.
That's not why it was founded in 2016. That's just what it said on the press sheet.
It was definitely just the last thing about like, oh, I want to check my heckin' fucking epic upvotes from like, you know, I left my phone in the room while I'm taking a dump. Like,
I'm not even
you,
sure I'm not even sure it extends to that. It might just be like he thought that, and someone said, you know, if it fails, you can launder money through it. And he's like, that's a neat idea.
That's a deal. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But
go ahead. Tell me of the company.
The company touted its successes with a demonstration of a pig in 2020 and in 2021, a video of a macaque playing Pong with its mind.
Oh, I can guarantee you those were both just, there's a driver with a remote control like every Tesla and
just off screen.
Yeah, just off screen.
Pay no attention to the monkey behind the curtain.
I'm looking for the Neuralink demo of, okay, I found the Neuralink demo on a pig. An hour? Who has time for that?
Honestly, no, it's just an hour still of pigpoopballs.jpg.
Yeah, no, it's Elon Musk talking on a stage in a fairly empty-looking audience. I'm not really sure.
Which was 2020.
Let's be real,
Is there a
might as well
pig?
be pigpoopballs.jpg.
I'm not seeing a pig anywhere.
Oh, the pig's there.
Well,
come on.
Yeah,
he's right up front.
But
bum. Yeah.
So Musk previously said that he hoped to begin human trials in 2021, but the goal was pushed back to this year. Based on the PCRM's findings, the brain chips may be nowhere near ready. Gee, like everything Musk has ever done.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my god. I found the video I'm looking for about the pig, I think. But the image, which I will probably make the show image on CNET, is it's a 3-step line drawn human head. The first one is you have trepanned a circular hole into it and the skin is peeled back.
Great start.
Yeah, like you're opening up a yogurt cup. The second one is this weird looking like sewing machine needle thing is now depressed into the open hole. And there's a little yellow chip with an arrow pointing at the hole in the needle. And then the third image is just the chip floating inside the drawing of a closed human skull.
That's not what we want in our holes.
Nope.
No.
Whew, boy.
In the future, girls will have 3 holes.
So the PCRM filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on Thursday, accusing UC Davis and Neuralink of 9 violations of the Animal Welfare Act. Many, if not all, of the monkeys experienced extreme suffering as a result of inadequate animal care and the highly invasive experimental head implants during the experiments, which were performed in pursuit of developing what Neuralink and Elon Musk must have described as a brain-machine interface. These highly invasive implants and their associated hardware, which are inserted into the brain after drilling holes in the animal's skulls, have produced recurring infections in the animals, significantly compromising their health, as well as the integrity of the research.
If you'd asked a brain scientist, they would have told you all of those things are the most likely outcomes.
Yeah, hey, don't drill holes in a brain and then just put shit in there.
Literally, Elon Musk is just a guy who, doesn't understand the phrase, it's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery.
God. Oh, shit. That's, yep.
He just thinks these are all assembling a poorly assembled automobile.
He's doing IKEA. He's doing IKEA is what he's fucking doing. He's doing a terrible
parts
job.
Of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to flat pack him.
So, UC Davis responded, "We strive to provide the best possible care to animals in our charge. Animal research is strictly regulated, and UC Davis follows all applicable laws and regulations, including those of the U.S. Department of Agriculture." Which is interesting because UC Davis is also very famous for having the cows with holes in them.
Ew, gross.
This is a thing. They have cows because UC Davis is the farm school.
Yeah,
it's where you go over in California if you want to be a vet or you want to learn about farming or something like your
FAA weirdos. Yeah.
And they have
or FFA. What is FFA?
That's the
aviation administration.
Yeah, fuck those guys too.
Fuck you too. No, the FFA guys
kill a lot of birds. That's bad about animals, huh? Yeah.
But at UC Davis, they have cows that have literal like
portholes.
Yeah, fistulas, portholes where that are into their stomach, so you could see the various degrees of digestion, and you can actually remove the porthole and reach in and feel what's going on in there.
I've talked about it on the show.
I hate that.
It was horrible. It was super cool and neat, but also that's horrible. Like, they just open a porthole in the side of a cow and you can reach your hand in. And they had me do that when I was younger. I was not even in the FFA. I was just near a cow that had that done in Colorado.
Yeah, that was just a weird Colorado day.
Yeah, it was. It was just a weird Colorado summer camp day.
That's just what it's like to live in the wacky, wacky world of South Park. Am I right, gamers?
Yeah, no, actually, that cow specifically was a rumen donor, where they would use stomach fluids as donations for other cows. You know, they didn't really address my question, which is like, surely you don't need an entire porthole, right? But
or the question of like, what hath God wrought?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just seems like you could put in like, I don't know, well, I don't really know. Maybe you can't like
pump,
like a colostomy bag.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it all works. I'm just saying it seems
they
like
already got
they
four
invented...
stomachs. Like, just add another one that just collects some goo.
Yeah,
I'm not a cow doctor, but that sounds pretty legit to me.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, I've done that. It was really unsettling.
That sounds heinous as fuck. Yeah.
Can I go over the pig thing really quick?
Oh yeah, please.
Will you just hold on 1 second while I watch the video of the demonstration? Because I think there's something here.
The whole hour of it. Yeah.
No, I found the actual like minute clip.
So what we have in pen number 1 is Joyce, and she does not have an implant. Obviously healthy and happy.
It's a little bit like the Tesla robot, where they just like had a guy in a suit.
And in the case of Dorothy, Dorothy used to have an implant, and then we removed the implant. So this is a very important thing to
totally right. That pig's uncle works in Nintendo,
so they can demonstrate reversibility.
You don't want it, or you
this
want
one
to
is
upgrade,
eating out of a bottle what looks like piss instead of solid food. I'm not sure what that's about.
What
regular pig food.
You can put in the neural link, remove it, and be healthy, happy, and indistinguishable from a normal pig. Oh, thanks, Dorothy.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now we have the Neuralink pig.
Okay. Great. Okay. This is a high energy pig.
Some pig beeps.
So it's playing like a double speed themed from Beverly Hills Cop, and those are the live signals apparently from the Neuralink.
Signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head. So this Neuralink connects to neurons that are in her snout. So whenever she snuffles around and touches something with her snout, that sends out neural spikes, which are detected here. And so on
of course.
You can see each of the spikes from the 1024.
Yeah, so every time it inhales really hard, it's sending signals.
This sounds like they just probed this poor pig for nothing. Like they
For
gave
a
it
bit.
like they gave it like one of those FM cards from like a 90s a 90s computer.
You can plug this pig into a tape deck in any vehicle. No, and there's the other thing is like the thing I was looking for is like, is there any evidence that this pig has a chip in it and it is a Neuralink and it is doing this thing? And absolutely not. They just brought 3 pigs into pens. It played some rapid fire 80s music whenever its nose touched stuff. And
cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Beep 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 beep.
This is
boop,
great.
Boop, boop. Like bad 70s sci-fi.
It's like
that's great.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly. Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've learned that Elon Musk's companies and Elon Musk are not just terrible to animals, but also to humans.
Yeah, go figure.
Wow.
Go figure. This comes from also LA Times, from Margot Roosevelt and Russ Mitchell. Thanks, Margot and Russ. Horrific allegations of racism prompt California lawsuit against Tesla.
This is not the first time that's happened, right?
No,
this is not
I
the
guess
first lawsuit.
I guess the lawsuit is actually happening. But
I'll be right. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I have to pee so bad. It's destroying me. I can't stop.
My penis hurts so fucking bad.
Oh god, yes. My peanuts are so bad right now.
Thanks, Zach. Is he listening to us?
Maybe.
Is he just posting this too? Oh, well, those sad little monkeys. I love it when the monkeys hug each other. I'm a sucker for like cute little monkeys.
For monkey.
They're so human-like.
Yeah, they're adorable. It's fucked up.
It is really kind of fucked up. Apparently there's like this trend on YouTube for like people to go in the comment section of like videos of like monkeys and just be like, I hope that little fucker died. Like they're very violent towards.
Oh,
like,
it's so fucked up. Yeah.
Like I don't get that. I'm very confused.
I'm not a fan. Yeah.
No, it is very weird. But also this.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Everything is fine now.
Mm-hmm. Zach just keeps posting.
Except for what we're talking about.
Yeah. But the N-word and other racist slurs were hurled daily at black workers at Tesla's California plant, delivered not just by fellow employees, but also by managers and supervisors. So says California's Civil Rights Agency in a lawsuit filed against the electric vehicle maker in Alameda County Superior Court on Thursday on behalf of thousands of black workers after a decade of complaints and a 32-month investigation. So I guess when we've
let's be real,
reported,
a decade.
Yeah.
A decade of complaints.
Yeah. So I do believe we reported on this at some point, but I think that must have been like somewhere in the middle of the investigation. So the investigation has concluded. And
it's very, very true.
And trigger warning. This is some really this is the terrible language that I'm about to read.
Yeah, this is awful.
Tesla segregated black workers into separate areas that its employees referred to as. Oh, I can't say that. I'm not going to say that. There's a slur here.
They're all racists.
The dark side, the slave ship,
which is also, let's be real, super fucking Reddit.
Right. I'm not gonna say that first one. That's awful. That's terrible. So only black workers had to scrub floors on their hands and knees, and they were relegated to the Fremont, California factory's most difficult physical job. The suit says graffiti, including KKK, go back to Africa, the hangman's noose, the Confederate flag, and fuck N-word were carved into restroom walls, workplace benches, and lunch tables, and were slow to be erased, the lawsuit says.
I don't want to make too much light of this, but like, wow, a South African is responsible for all this?
I mean,
responsible
for it not
go figure
getting...
that a dude who, whose money is originally from his parents' apartheid fucking emerald mines is a little racist.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Or just doesn't care about racism.
I mean, I think that's definitely the brainworm you have to be from South Africa and Elon Musk. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he did address these and said that we
hear you, we see you.
No, what he said was that what these things were atrocious things to say and do, but those people who were affected by it need to grow thicker skin.
Of course.
That's much worse than we hear you, we see you.
Grow thicker, parentheses, whiter skin.
Jesus. It's literally, this guy just shows up and it's like, wow, this sucks.
Anyway,
people are mean to me every day on the internet. You don't hear me filing lawsuits, except for all the ones I filed.
Yeah.
So, not only were Tesla's black workers subjected to, quote, willful, malicious harassment, but they were also denied promotions and paid less than other workers for the same jobs. They were also disciplined for infractions for which other workers were not penalized. The Department of Fair Employment and Housing Director Kevin Kish said the lawsuit is the largest ever brought to the state for racial discrimination in terms of the size of the affected workforce since the agency gained prosecutorial powers in 2013. Before that, complaints were handled by an agency administrative law judge rather than in court. But as more employees have forced workers to sign arbitration agreements, preventing them from taking complaints to court, quote, government has the only effective enforcement mechanism to remedy broad, pervasive violations in the workplace, he said.
And even then, it's like too late. Fucking, it's the same like OSHA problem, right? Like you hit one of these companies like with like a fine for killing 30 people, and it's like they just pay the fine.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, too, this arbitration also had anti-union. Like they were
because of course
to,
it did.
Yeah. I believe that they were not allowed to join a union, or they were highly discouraged from it. Just probably like they were highly discouraged from reporting on racism and racist activities happening at the plant.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla's Fremont factory is, by the way, I was correct. Tesla's Fremont factory is the only non-union plant in the U.S. operated by a major American automaker. Interesting. California's crackdown on the car maker, which has 36,200 employees in the state and 80,000 worldwide, have been a long time coming. Black workers' complaints of racial harassment and discrimination at the Fremont plant, which employs 15,000 people, date from 2012. The agency said the black workers make up 20% of Tesla's factory assemblers, and there are also no black executives, and just 3% of professionals at the Fremont plant are black. The lawsuit said. Interesting, very interesting,
very convenient. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There it goes on to, oh god, it goes on to say that after Trump was elected, a lot of more racist bravado seemed to come out of the out of the woodworks. Beside the N-word, harassment at Tesla, according to the DFEH lawsuit, included slurs such as, and they were there. A lot of them are bad.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to say them. I feel uncomfortable reading them.
There's one example later which I could just read for sort of the level we're talking about here, and if you don't want to hear it, just press the forward button as soon as I begin reading it, because it will skip over it. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah,
it says,
that sounds like a good compromise.
So we'll do one. I'm not going to read the slurs. I'm going to read behavior. It is, one was lodged by a female black employee who said her female white boss struck her with a hot grinding tool and called her stupid, the N-word, and insulted her intelligence. The suit says the supervisor was fired, but later rehired.
Jesus!
That's the level we're at.
Cool.
Literally that. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, so, fuck Tesla.
Yeah.
Fuck Elon Musk, fuck Tesla. And I was remarking earlier about this, but it really sucks that I think this is really good in a way that, like, the state of California is investigating this and bringing up this lawsuit just like they did against Activision Blizzard. And it looks like the lawsuit is going to continue even though they have been purchased by Microsoft. That's my understanding of it, which is great. California does have some of the best protections for workers in the United States, but the bar is low.
But yes.
This is so incredibly low. This took 32 months. And even if anything happens, like, they're going to fire some CEOs and they're going to leave the company with like $80 million or some shit like that.
Well, if even, because like it also notes here California and its gig worker laws. It says Tesla hired most workers through 14 staffing firms, quote, to avoid responsibility, end quote, the state lawsuit asserted. The carmaker declined to investigate complaints by staffing agency workers, although most of the black workers were employed by staffing firms.
Oh,
and they add, staffing firms were also an issue in 2 large race discrimination cases brought by the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission involving hundreds of black warehouse workers in the Inland Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They mention a Moreno Valley case against Ryder Integrated Logistics and its staffing firm Irvine-based Kimco Staffing Services, charged that at least 121 black workers were frequently subjected to the N-word and other slurs by fellow workers and managers, exposed to racist graffiti in the restrooms. Assembly lines were segregated by race, with black workers and Latino workers in separate work areas, and the 2 companies failed to investigate and retaliated against workers who complained, the EEOC said.
Real bold of this company to call themselves Integrated Logistics.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says the suit was settled in May for $2 million. The companies were required to create a tracking system for discrimination, revise its policies, and submit to stringent outside monitoring. And it says another one, Glendale-based staffing agency Apple One was settled in July for $1.4 million. Requirements for stringent policy and monitoring rules for the same reasons. I think that that's probably what you can expect out of the Tesla case. settling for a few $1 million, maybe a little more, revising it, probably some, like, there might actually be some sort of changes here, unless they want to make an example out of Tesla for some reason, which, I mean, they might, in the sense that, like, Tesla is not nearly as integrated into the halls of capital as so many of the other institutions that they're fighting against. On the other hand, Elon Musk is like
Capital's special baby boy.
Yeah.
yeah. That's the one I'm not sure is like
also the loudest, wettest bitch on Twitter, let's be real.
Yes. So yeah, like so the whole thing is here's like the reason these lawsuits are happening at Tesla is because this is how the staffing services are orienting it, and Tesla and everyone who works at any of these places that that uses these staffing agencies are taking super advantage to just let out all the racist bullshit they keep inside them at other aspects of their lives, because they're all miserable, awful people. And on top of that, it's like they are enforcing segregation by just only hiring Black and Latino workers for certain areas of manufacture, and then further only segregating them by getting them from, I assume, what I'm understanding here, different staffing services centered in different areas that will produce majority certain people, and then just moving a few people around here and there. It's like, it's literally, the whole thing from top to bottom and all outside services is explicitly segregated, explicitly set up to further that, and everyone involved is being encouraged to participate.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
yes,
it is. Absolutely.
Well,
here, can I do an endorsement of another podcast? Maybe that would be a good chaser to this.
Yeah.
All right. So I think edit, like, cut in here, right? Like where we kind of like go full doomer.
Yeah, we went doomer for a second, and then.
So, if you'd like some labor stories that aren't like gonna make you go full doomer, because like, you know, we riff on horrible shit. It's what we do, you know, and sometimes the horrible shit wins a little bit. But a podcast with really good analysis and really good, like, you know, some cautious optimism, I should say.
Yeah.
Like well reasoned cautious optimism. Work Stoppage. Go give it a listen. They've been covering a lot of really positive labor actions actually. Lately, like, you know, if y'all have been paying attention at all to the Starbucks unionization efforts around the country, shit like that, you know, a lot of cool shit. Go give them a listen.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't want to be too doomer about this. It's not that, like, the reason we're hearing about this is because there is an actual investigation. Things are being done. It's not nothing, but it's the continuing and ongoing degree to which this is an absolute trash country that needs to cease.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. But that's not to say that there aren't lots of people fighting back. All of the people in these stories are complaining. Like, the reason this coming out, these folks are getting fired, is because they're like, I'm not putting up with this shit.
Yeah,
confident. Tons of them are organizing, reading positive things. You know, like, we're all conscious of this shit. It's not all for nothing. Like.
Exactly.
We are going through this shit together, and one day we will do what needs to be done.
I like that. I like that kind of talk. All right. Well, if you've made it this far, you are indeed a true comrade. Thank you for sticking around. Shout out to all of our patrons, especially Nicole, Pizza Boss, Comrade Kametka, Alan, Cody, Kira, Jen, Knightley, Andrew, conduit of the existential dread of fatherhood itself. That part's important. Gotta leave that in. Julian, Julia, Dylan, Samantha, Caleb, Jack, Broobs, Lizzie, the brilliant Dr. Fly, Alex, Olive Lotion Wizard, Jorge, Dr. Sophia, Tyler, Malwin, Eli, Rufus, not a mole rat, Ryan, Tim Undead Comrade, Scott, and the Warlock Phosphorus. Thank y'all all so much. You keep this shit show rolling.
Thank you.
And yeah, let us know how you liked our latest Patreon exclusive episode. It's a lot goofier if that's what you want to hear. Give us some money and you can hear it too.
Part of me is like, so is this the scam? We're getting people to go to the Patreon for the good show and we're doing all the doom stuff on this show. Should we just maybe we should just do the silly shit on every episode?
Just flip it? I don't know. You know, it's funny.
No, not flip it. No one's gonna pay for this.
Oh goodness.
Just do.
Yeah, you know,
go back to this podcast's roots and only get like news of the weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, thank y'all so much for real, and thank you to listeners of all stripes and fucking payment levels because I mean, you know, hey, if you're hanging out here having a good time,
tell us what you're
like. Also valid.
Tell us what you like and want to hear more of.
Yeah,
we will consider that.
Yeah, I'm the one who makes the docket. I might consider it.
And Bo and I will wrestle the
Dennis,
docket
you're
from
just
Dennis.
Sitting here like a fucking mafia don, just like I will maybe consider it.
Listen, we do this because we want to become rich, and if you want to hear us praise America, you got it. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, the patriotic socialism heel turn. Can't wait. For that.
Because I'm pretty sure those. I'm pretty sure those guys are just swimming in money right now.
I mean, I really I genuinely think at some point it will come out that some of that money they're swimming in happened to show up from like the National Endowment for Democracy or something.
Oh, some awful think tank.
No,
absolutely. More like stink tank. Am I right?
As we know, because they're also so sexually knowledgeable, swimming in money and pussy.
Yeah.
They're swimming in pussy because they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't swim in the pussy, you fuck it, you idiot.
just sitting there treading women, trying to stay afloat.
Treading pussy, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't tread pussy, eat it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I appreciate you going out of your way to include people who are not women in the pussy treading. I just don't think that's what the patriotic socialist would be doing.
No, yeah.